Hi all. Let's just see the demo first, then I will go through the project description and we will start. So this is the landing page. Here, if you see, all the products are coming. These products are coming from the APIs. We have some categories on the product. Let me show you the network tab. If I open it, network, reload, let me remove the debuggers. So you can see we have some API. Okay. So from API, you are getting this product. We have some categories also. These categories are also coming from the API. If I click on beauty and hygiene, you see two products are coming. Cleaning and household, no product is there. Beverages, getting it? So I'm able to filter product as per the product ID. So product listing, I'm able to filter it also. Then I'm able to sign it. Let me log out. Let's click on login. Let me create a new account. Let's say Rahul. This is contact number 0099009900. Password, let's say 223344. This is my, this will be my username to login. Register. Mobile number already exists. Okay. Let's go with 1122112233. This is the mobile number. Register. Customer registration is success. Then we can log in. So on click of sign in, 223344. On click of login, customer found, and here you can see the logged in data is there. Currently, I just log in, so I don't have anything into the cart. Now let's say dragon fruit. Let's add it. Let's say I need two quantities. So 98 rupees, add to cart. One product got added. And here, if you see, you're able to see that product. Then let's say I need a red label tea. Let's minimize like this. Two products I have added. Getting it? So dragon fruit and the red label. Now go to check it out. So in checkout also you get to see what you have added. Then you can add an address. Let's say plot number 102 SBI Colony, Pune. Sorry. Pin code something near SBI gate. Something I'm adding. Cash on. And on click of place order, my order get placed. Now here you can see I'm able to see the orders, what I have placed. And if you click on the details, what products you have actually ordered, that also you get to see. Dragon fruit 2 quantity, red label 1, this is the price. Complete e-commerce application, product listing, you are able to filter, you are able to add, register yourself, you are able to log in, add to cart, finally order placement, and you are able to see your orders also. This is an application which is customer centric. And when we talk about e-commerce application, it has admin side and the customer side. So this is a customer side of application which we have completed with the Angular 22. Now let's start. We have seen the demo. Now let's start the project. Everything we are going to build from the scratch. Hi all, welcome to Learning Partner. So in this video, we are going to complete a small e-commerce application. So either you call it as Amazon, Flipkart, or a Big Basket clone. Basically, the API name which I have given is the Big Basket, but ultimately a basic e-commerce application. So what things are there in e-commerce, any e-commerce application? So that whole flow we are going to cover. APIs are there. You can visit freeapi.zerasim.in, and here if you go, Big Basket is the controller name, and here you can see all the APIs. And by using this, you can complete the whole application. Means when you talk about e-commerce application, it has two part: admin side. Sorry, let me read. Admin side and the website part. Right. Website part is normally used by the customer to search the product, to add to cart, and to place the order. Admin side is the people who will create the product. He get to see all the order place and everything. Right. So in this particular website, we are going to cover only the website part, means the customer model. So what major features we are going to take? So landing page, it's a website, so it should have a landing page, home page, right? There we will show some top product, some categories, and something like that. Then we should have another page where we will just show all the product. We should have some filters also, and we will be able to see the product. If I click on a particular product, then I need to see the whole detail of the product, because when in the product listing, we will show the card. We cannot show all the information of that card. Limited information we will see, right? But if I click on a particular product, I should navigate to a different page where with the query parameter, and I will be able to see the whole page. So that is this product page. On open product page, wait, product page to show all the product. This is nothing but that. This got repeated, I think. Okay. So then products are visible, user is able to filter it also as per the category, then he should be able to add to cart. Once he add to cart in, in the nav bar, he should be able to see what number of products he has added. Then he can remove the particular product, or he can change the quantity of the product also. So that thing will be there. Then checkout. So on click of the checkout, you get to see all the product, whatever you have add to cart, and you finally place the order. And in your customer login part will be also there. So before add to cart, first we have to check if user is logged in or not. And in customer login, if customer is logged in, we have to show a menu like add order, and there we can see all the orders placed by him. Right. Again, if you open the order, what products were there, everything will be written. So this is the complete flow what any e-commerce application will have. Again, so many major flows will be there, address adding and so many things. But just to complete the whole application, these modules are sufficient enough. Now, why this is important? So consider this is this project will help you to gain actual knowledge or actual working experience on the Angular, right? Because you get to do the API integration, forms, everything. Subject behavior, subject also you get to see, login functionality, guards, everything you get to see. So complete application from scratch you are going to build, so proper knowledge you will get it. Then this is a very real time scenario. So many companies, those who are currently giving interviews, okay, once you are done with the theoretical part, they are asking interview question, means they will ask you to complete any machine test round, right? They will provide you a small application and they will ask you to complete. So e-commerce application is part of that. Let's say add to cart module or product listing, filtering, some of the module from this they will ask you. So this will help you to clear your interview also. If you are fresher, this is a good project for you to have it in your CV. But again, create a proper UI, try to add as much as functionality. APIs are there, right? If you need some of the APIs which are not there, let's say, I think offer APIs are there. Offer APIs are there, so let's say you need a API for wish to list. Sometimes in e-commerce application we don't want to buy the card, but we want to add it as a favorite, we want to add it our wish list, that also. So you can reach out to me, I can add APIs over here. But create an application which should look like a production relevant application, and you have inputted so much of efforts into it, that should look from your application, right? So you can, it's a good project that should have in your CV. Okay, now let's start it. So what I have done, considering obviously you are not fresher to Angular, so I have kept my project ready. This is an empty project. What I have done, how do you create a project, right? Ng new, then project name. Then ng serve is the command to run the project. After that, I have installed Bootstrap and the font awesome and Bootstrap icon, I guess. So 3 packages I have installed. Okay, this is what I have done till now. So I have run the project. Project is running on 4200. Let's try to open it. So by default, you get to see this default page, right? Now, first thing, like we have got an empty project. So Angular 22 is there, by default standalone is there, zoneless application is there. So we have to use Signal as much as we can, right? Now, first thing is we have to create the components, like what number of major pages we have, that many components we will create. So I'm going to name the folder as pages. Let's open a terminal over here. ng generate component. So first component will be, as this is the website, right? So first component we are going to create is a home component. So home component here, we will just have our website. We should have some banner, then some products, then how to use this application, something like that. Landing page, a website landing page, main page. So that is the home page. Then we are going to need another page where we are going to show all the product. So product list. Second component where we are going to show all the product with category and filter. Third component will be your product page. Product detail page. This page will be with the routing. Whenever you navigate to this component, you will navigate with the product name or the product ID, so that we get to know which product I'm trying to open. Then checkout page. So we don't need a page for add to cart, that we can show it into the model pop-up. So we don't need a page for that. And once order has been placed, then we need to see all the order. So my order page. Application has a login page, so we will need a login page also. So let's add a login page also. So these are the components we are going to need. If needed, we will again create. But for now, these components are good enough to start. Now, your components are created. Next thing, immediately you have to create the route. So approute.ts file is there. So here you have to create the routes. Empty array we had. Now we have to create the routes. So first is right, the default route as always. Because when user visit your application, what is the first component you want to load? So default route, it will be empty. Wait, it's not loaded, I guess. So here you can see it is still initializing. It is still trying to find out what kind of a project is this. Let's give it some time. Once it is done, then all the IntelliSense properties will start coming up. Currently, you can see it is not showing anything. But it is showing, but it is not route object. Yeah. Let's try it again. Redirect to. Now it is coming. Redirect to home page. Path my strategy. Your default route should have this. With let's go with full because it's a standalone application. Then path. Then your home component. Home component like this. This is your first route. Then path login component, login component, comma, path, product, or let it be. For now, we are going to need just this much. Okay. So I have just created 3 components. Remaining, we will keep on creating. So once you create the component, then you have to create the route. Okay. Or yeah, let's create it. I don't want to keep on waiting. Let me just copy paste. So login is there. Then products, product list component. Then we will have open product component. This component will be with the route ID. Open, sorry, what was the component name? Product detail. Product details component. Then my order page, my orders. Okay, these are the routes we are going to need. Let's format it properly. Fine. So these are the routes we are going to have for our component. Now we this like my order page, this or guard, we will do it at the end. Let's start it first. Now we got our all components ready. By default, home component is going to render. So what we will have it into our app component, right? If navbar means we have a home component there, we are going to have a landing page. So what we will have it into our app component. So our navbar, we will keep it over here. Then in home component, the landing page thing, like we are showing categories, products, and something like that. So that will be in your home component. So here we will have our navbar. Now for UI generation. So if you are following me, previously I used to keep my UI ready. That was before AI, but now we got AI, right? So previously I used to create all the HTML and CSS with Bootstrap, with writing code by myself, and then I used to copy paste it. But now we have AI, so we will be using AI for generation of the UI. Now some of you will have the question that why I'm not creating the UI. Currently, the AI is so capable that it can write everything. Now, even if we are writing, even if you are designing UI by ourselves, then it is wasting our time, right? So, and the purpose of this video is focused on the Angular part, not the UI designing part. UI, you can get it from Google also. So many website samples are there with HTML says you can copy paste, right? If I start designing UI again, it video will be long, but that is not our focus. Angular is our focus. Ki how do we write the Angular code and complete the whole application? Okay. And again, with this, I get to explain you ki how you use AI tools to complete our work. Now I will be using Claude. Let me open the Claude. Okay. Now what you need, first, you need to create a proper syntax, right? What you are currently working. So instead of doing it over here, now let me use the chat mode because I need prompt also proper. So here it will format your prompt also properly. So that's why I'm using over here. Then I will copy paste. So here we might have to dictate. So for dictating, I will use chat GPT. You get to see why I'm using so many things. So if you dictate over here, The dictate mode of Cloud doesn't work that much. ChatGPT works very well. Okay, so I'm going to dictate it. Instead of writing, I'm dictating it. Then I will copy paste. So dictate mode. I'm working on an e-commerce application into Angular. So I have a home component and I have an app component. In app component, I need the navbar as it's a home e-commerce application. So use a modern navbar so that in navbar we should have a login button. If user is logged in, we should show logged in username and the logout button. Again, it's a e-commerce application, so we should have a pop-up on add to cart that it should open a pop-up. That functionality also should be there. Then checkout page, home page, product page. Like this, some menus will be there. We are going with a dark mode and don't write any Angular code. Just complete the UI design. Angular code, I will write it myself. Let's stop it. So instead of writing this whole thing, I'm using the voice to text. Now we will copy it. We will put it over here. Now we are asking it to enhance our prompt. This is very basic prompt. We did add our context, what you need, right? But again, we will enhance it. So, it will add as a role, task, example, everything. So see role, senior UI UX designer, specialized in e-commerce platform and modern web interface. This is the role we are asking it to perform. Context, what you need, task, what you need, what you are actually going to need it, constraint, dark theme, do not write Angular code. We said, do not write Angular code. Responsiveness, we didn't add response, we didn't say responsiveness, but it has added that. Apply, or let's copy it. Now this is my actual prompt. This was your original one. Because of that, it has created a proper one. Now this, I will put it over here. Now, this is the kind of a prompt you should have. It should have a role. It should know the context. It should know the task, constraints, any example, output, something you like that. Then you will get a proper output, whatever you need. So, all the AI tools, either you talk about GPT, Claude, Codex, or even GitHub Copilot, you have a limited number of tokens. So we cannot keep on wasting on writing the same prompt again and again. So within one prompt only, you should get the answer. So your prompt also should be like that, right? And one more thing we forgot, that to Bootstrap is installed, we forgot to mention that constraint. Let me stop it. Let me change it quickly. Otherwise, it will write the own CSS. So let me just add one more constraint. So you can see constraints also you provide it like this. So let me copy this. CSS, use Bootstrap, which is already installed. And Bootstrap icons too already installed. Okay. Yeah. Let's copy. Let's paste it over here. Let me see how many tokens are there left. So with Cloud also, you get 5 hours window with that limited number of tokens you can use. So how we can see slash uses, it will navigate over here and you get to see how many tokens are currently left. So I didn't use it from morning, so 0% use. Okay. So we can use it. Let's put it. Let's go ahead. I don't know where it will keep. So because we want navbar over here and our home page over here, right? So let's modify our prompt. Navbar use app component to keep navbar use home component for landing page where we show limited number of products Let's see what we get with this prompt. Again, we will keep on changing it. Let's copy. So before hitting this, make sure you have covered everything. Don't be in hurry whenever you are writing a prompt, because if you miss out anything, again it will read the whole folder structure and you are unnecessary wasting your tokens, right? Let's see. It will take some time. So you can see it will show you ki, yeah, how many token it is reading for your prompt. Also, what you write the prompt, then reading, then creating it. Everything use the token. Okay. So it is creating task now. Ki how many tasks will be there? Mobile breakpoint and all. Add to card interaction, page layout structure. We said bootstrap, so row column structure, product detail. It is finding the product detail and my order page also. So we said that we don't write an Angular code, but let's check. We have added that in the rule also. It should not create. It has found the typo also. Where is the typo? Okay, slash first and colon later. See over here. So we written like this, but correct is slash, then colon. Checkout page is not registered yet, so it might create the route for that. But okay, it has done the analysis only. But why it has not started designing it? Let's start designing pages, respective component. Again, we will say it don't write Angular code, just complete UI design. Now we are actually providing the instructions, so it should start creating the pages now. Canvas scale to create a dark mode function. This is the tool it is going to use. In Claude, there are so many tools. Sometimes we can, again, if you have explored the Claudes, we have to design, we have to specify our scales, project level scale, our scale, tools also at our disposal. What tools we should ask it to select. So many things are there. I have also started interacting and means. Every month I try to purchase a different AI tool. So this month I'm exploring Claude. So what it can do, slowly I'm learning also key what are scale, what are the stream messages, whatever you are get to see it over here. Now these are the stream messages. It is working, but parallelly it is returning something also. So we get to know key, yeah, currently what is happening. So these are the stream messages, what it is actually doing right now. 3,000 token it has used already. But why it is taking so much of time? It has not started designing yet. Let's give it some more time. And now it is creating some bash completed with no output. Okay, till the time it will do, we will start our writing the pages, but UI is not there. Okay, I will explain the API till now. Now, here if you see, these are the APIs we have. Now on the home page, you have to show the product. So this is the API we have, get all product. If I show you the response, see what it has there. Product ID, product SKU, product name, price, short name. In e-commerce application, if you are on the listing, you use the short name. When you open the product, then you show the whole product name. Product description, created date, delivery time span, category ID, image URL, and category name also. This product belongs to which category? Fruits and vegetable. So many people have used this API, so they might have added the proper URL also of the images. Let's see if it is correct or not. Otherwise, we will get to see empty image. Okay. Why it is not creating, but still strange. Starting with the home page. Now it has starting. Home page still not selected. Okay. So on the home page, what we are going to do, we are going to call this API. But get all product API gets you everything, all the products. Let me show you how many products we have. Okay, we don't have much. I thought like everyone might have added so many, but it's okay. We don't have much. Okay, we will integrate this API. Okay, till that time UI generation is in progress, we will start writing our API call. Now API call, where we should write? You can write the API call function into component also, but we should not disturb our component for unnecessary with unnecessary function. Our component should be lightweight. It should contain the code which is actually participating in DOM manipulation. Correct? So we create a service and there we move our API call function. So in app folder, I will create a services folder. And here I will create my first service. That will be, let's say, product. Open a new terminal. Ng generate service. Let's say product service. So first service I'm creating, that is the product service. We don't have the same component name, right? Yes. Okay. Because the naming convention got changed. Your component also will have the product name and service also, then it will create a dependency. Okay. Where it is creating? YouTube project, same only. It will create and then it will dump it. Let's give it some time because everything it is creating for the first time only. Okay, for that time. So we created our service. Now API call integration. So here we are going to make our API call. Now, if you check all the API call, let's say get all product. Here you can see this piece of code is common, like big basket. Till over here, this URL is common. Just your method name is changing. Get all cart item. Let me show you. So you can see this URL is common in every API call. Just your method name is going to change. So in every service, at least we are going to create 3 to 4 services. So instead of repeating this URL in every service, what we do, we create an environment folder. So in intro question, they will ask you, key, how do you manage different environment? You know, you will have dev environment, QA environment, UAT, then production. So how do you manage that? So we have environment folder. That's according to the environment, you keep your URLs over there. Environment specific data, you keep it over there. How do you create it? Ng generate environments. This is the command which will create environment file. So before I think Angular 15 or 16, this folder used to be by default present, but then they removed it. Spelling mistake will be there. ENVIRONMENTS. So it will create two files, your development and the production. Okay. And it has added the entry, your angular.json also. It is just a constant file. Now here you will keep your API URL, common API URL, API underscore URL. So this is the rule what we follow. Whenever you store data into constant file, it should be in a capitalized. And if it's a two-letter, separated with hyphen. This is not a rule, but a good standard programming practice what we follow. So this is your common URL. So this you will keep it into your environment folder. Currently, we just have one environment, so that's it. And same thing, I will keep it over here also. So this will be your production and this will be your development. Let's say this is your development API. For production, let's say prod API, something will be there. Okay, like this. Save, save. Now coming back to your service. Oh my God, it is taking literally so much of time. Home variant, I think it is done. Let's give it some more time. Now, in your product service, you need one API call that will return all the product. Okay, so get. Okay, sorry. Before making the API call, you need HTTP object. So HTTP is equal to inject HTTP client. Okay, then get all products. Whenever you create a variable or a function name or a parameter name, make sure your function name, variable names are descriptive. That is also identifies you as a good programmer, right? So variable name, function name, it should not be something random. It should describe the purpose of it. Okay. So whenever, let's say you are appearing for a machine test, and if you are just using any random variable name, he is not going to ask you to change the variable name to proper. He will judge you directly. So keep your variable names very proper. Okay. Return this.http.get API call. Now URL is in your environment folder. So environment is asking us to artify. Oh my God, it has created an artifact. So sorry if you are not aware of the cloud, you might feel key what I'm doing. So it has created an artifact. Okay. If you can see the whole, that Figma kind of a thing we used to get. So that artifact it is talking. So it has created this. I don't know. Our prompt was wrong or what. It has created the Figma kind of a design artifact. Now let's start designing page in a responsive respective component. So yeah. So while exploring cloud, I have tested this. So let me show you. When you join a project or when you are working on a project, you get Figma. So either you get a prototype in Figma or Adobe. So this is what that. Okay. So this is going to be your UI for your application. If I and don't think it is clickable, browse deal, nothing is clickable. Wait, see, this is going to be your application. Okay, currently it is not. Yeah, it is clickable also, but I think not like that. Back to canvas, then add categories, filter. This is a single page, right? So you can see all the UI it has created, very proper one. Card, how you will be your card look like? See, checkout page. This will be your checkout page. Okay, then my order page, how my order page will look like. See, this will be your my order page. Then login page, mobile responsiveness also it has created. Mobile like login UI like this. Okay. So as per the prototype, it might create the UI now. Oh my God, very I think because of the prompt we ask from over here now. That's why in depth it has started because of this prompt. If it was a simple prompt, now it would have directly started creating the HTML. But because we added a role and a very good context, so it has taken its time to create a Figma prototype first. Then, as per the prototype, now it will be creating the UI. Okay. Let me just charge my laptop. So it took a little bit of time, but the UI is ready. So whatever the prototype it has created, right? As for that, the UI is also ready. You can say this is the home page, then a product page where we will be able to filter it also. And I don't know, single page will be opened or not. That, yeah, single page also, multiple images. We don't have multiple images, but it created a UI and related products also we can show. Then my order page is also ready. This won't open because we might have to write some code for that. Login page, right? So our whole UI is ready. So as per our API, again, this is very basic because we didn't provided our API contract. Okay, what things are there in product, what things are there in my order. So again, that has to change. Okay. Now we can start our integrations now. So let's close that. And again, the basic HTML code it has written. We asked it, don't write in Angular code, so it has not written. Okay. So let's close it now. Now your services. So first service, like on the home page, we have to show the product list, right? So here environment dot API URL plus then the method name. So what is the method name of the URL which gives us all the products? So get all product. So this is the method name. Now this method name, you can keep it over here. That is perfectly fine. But again, as a good programming standard says, like we should not hard code anything, right? So we have a constant file dot. So in app component, I will create a folder constant. And here we will create our global constant. So whenever you do hard code data, we should not hard code anything. Everything should get derived from the constant file. So constant dot ts. It's a simple TypeScript file. But what we are going to have a constant over here. Okay. Now here we can keep some validation error, some warnings. Let's say user is trying to add to cart before login. So, that text will be there. So that also should get derived. Some regular expression we are using, while logging email or ID something, right? So everything will go over here. So now just to categorize them, we will say API endpoints. Okay. Here you will keep on all the endpoints, all products. This is the first endpoint. Then your actual URL method name, get all product. This will go over here. So instead of hard coding it over here, now that URL, the method name will come from your constant dot API method dot get all product. Understood? So this should be your API call function should look like. Nothing should be hard coded. Again, this, if you hover on this, what it is returning? Observable, right? API call, http.get. We are returning observable type of data. What you know what type of data you are going to return. So specifically in this API, all the API, you will see all API is going to return this model. All API is going to return this response. So you can create an interface for it. So here you have to provide that also. Now we are going to create interface. So right click, models. Now here I will create a first model. Let's say API dot response dot model dot ts. Okay. And here export interface. Instead of using any, we are creating interface. API response model. What things are there? These are the things. Message, result, and the data. Message will have a data type string. Result will have a data type Boolean. Either it will be API call is success or not. That you will get it over here. And data, it can be anything. Let it give it as a short, small case. And here it can be anything. So that's why here we will go to any. In case of get all product, product list. In case of add to cart, right? So different type of data we will get it over here. So this is the interface what we have. Now, this API call function is going to return IAPI response model. So observable of type API response model. That's what I said. This specific video is not for beginner because all the advanced things I'm going to explain along with interview preparation concepts and all. So if you have not done the basics, so I will suggest watch any tutorial, right? Complete the basic tutorial first, then jump onto the project. So here also we need to return the specific API response model. This should be your production level API call function code into your service. What you are returning instead of any specific thing, your URL is coming from environment, method name is coming from your constant. Okay. Now, so we have created a service and in that service, we have a function ready. Now we will go to our home page. Okay. Now in our home page, we are showing products. So here you can see these are the products, I think. Let's check the UI. Wireless headphone. Let's see where it is. Yeah, so this is the column which we are iterating where the products are coming. Okay, this is where this is the static one. Now we have to make it dynamic. Okay, now on the page load, we have to make an API call. So first, a service is there, so we have to inject it. Product service is equal to inject product. This is your service. You have injected the product service. Now on the page load, you want to trigger an API call, right? So implement on init. Moving ahead, I will explain the use case of async pipe also, but for now, we will go with the traditional way. Ng on init, another function, get all products. Then this dot product service dot get all product. This function is returning observable type of data. So obviously subscribe round bracket. Next success call result. What data you are going to what that function is going to return this, right? Now, whatever the data you get, first we will call this function over here. On the page load, our function should trigger whatever the data you get that you want to store it into signal. Why signal? Because it's Angular 22, zoneless is there. If you have a normal variable and if you assign it, UI won't show it. So that's why we have to go for a signal that I have already covered in tutorial videos. So product list. Now, Let's see what actual data you are going to get from the product list. This is the data you are going to get. So for this also you need to create an interface. Now I will use JSON to TS side. So just to create an interface, I don't want to waste time creating interface. I have already shown you. So this is the JSON like that. This will be your interface. Copy. Now this interface will go into a different file. Let's say product model.ts. TS. And here you will put it your I product interface. Whenever you create an interface, try to prefix it with the I so everyone will be able to understand. When you write a code, it's the code you're writing, it's not just for you. Anyone who sees the code, he should properly understand it, right? So when you work in the real-time project, we try to follow some guidelines like this so that code will be scalable, it will be properly readable, right? Now, in home component, the data type will be I product array of it. Sorry, it's a signal. So colon is equal to signal. What type of data you are going to store? I product array. Round bracket, we will initialize with empty array. So you created a signal. Now, whatever the data you get, that you have to assign it to the signal. So product list dot set method res dot data. In data, you are going to get the actual response. Fine. Now on the page load, you will have an API call. You will get the data ready over here. This you will use it to iterate. So control pro statement at the rate for loop. Start using it daily. Okay, I have connected last week to a person who is having almost 7 years of experience purely into Angular, but he was working on Angular 15 project till that they have upgraded. And in intro, he was not that much confident when interviewer asked him control flow statement. Even though your project are not using latest thing, but on a personal level, you should explore it because in intro, you're not, they are going to ask the latest thing, right? So start using it. Now this is the div which was having the card. Okay. Now what things are there? Router link, right? So product slash, let's wrap it up as a square bracket. Let's see if import has been there. Yeah, router link is there. Now here, single quote. Okay. Here you have to bind the product ID. So item dot product ID will bind it over here. Fine. Then where was the image? Wait, where is the image? Oh my God, it has added the image because from CSS, I guess. How we will show it? Let's see. So you can see multiple products are coming. Now this section, I think it has handled. Let's see. Anchor tag from where this image is coming. Anchor tag. I. Where is this image is coming? Before. Where is before? So because of this is coming, but I need to have a section where I can upload an image. Let's ask Cloud again that what you have done. Where is the history? Yeah. So in home component, product card, I don't see image tag. I have data coming from API, which has image URL I need to add. Again, don't write Angular code, add image tag so I can pass value to it. Okay. So again, Again, even though you try to provide everything in your prompt, still some things will be there because you ask to create normal HTML and CSS, so it might forget to cover everything. Okay. So it has added a section, but this is coming from CSS, I guess. So we have a way. Yeah, now image got added. Now here we have to use property binding item dot product image URL. Okay. Here we can show the product name item dot product name. Let's save it and check it. Yes. So now you can see these are the data coming from the API. So I think some of the images I had uploaded, some people might have uploaded. So images are coming along with the product name. Let's show the remaining things. We don't have rating, but let's keep it. It is looking good. So here we have to show the rate price item dot price. Save it. Okay. All right. So you are able to show the products on the landing page. Clear? So first thing we did out of the many tasks, we completed our first thing, product listing on the landing page. This is completed. Let's mark it off. Now here you get to see some categories are here. Okay, let me show you. Now we have an API for this also. If you check the product data, you here you have category ID because each product belongs to a particular category. So let's check the categories now. If you want to create a data from here, you can create. Okay. Then where it is, yeah, get all categories. Write out, execute. So here you can see, so, oh my God, so many categories are there. Some are extra, like this string category 1 is extra. Okay. So this is the second API call. Now what we can do here, you can show all the categories, whatever we have. Then on click of it, you should be able to filter it out also, right? So for that, first you need to show all the categories over here. This section is currently static. We need to make it dynamic. So from this API, you will get the categories. So let's write another API call. Let's close this one now. Again, we are going back to the service. Now you can create one more service for categories, or here also you can create because we don't have so many. So get all categories. Try to follow the camel case, right? Get all categories. Again, almost structure will be same. So I will be copy pasting this. Just here method name will change. Again, method name will come from over here. All category. This is the actual method name, that is get all category. Here it will go. Now in your service, you will use this instead of this second method, all category. Okay. So you have second your API call ready. Now I will explain async pipe. Now this is also, we could have done it with the sync pipe, memory leak. So whenever you subscribe, you have to unsubscribe. So you have to create an subscription, then you clear it. So that thing is there. We will try it at the end, but I will explain async pipe also. But to use async pipe, we have to use map over there. Okay, so anyway, let's do it. So async pipe. So when either you subscribe like this, then you have to create a subscription object. You unsubscribe in your ng-on init, ng-on destroy. Instead of doing that, you can create an observable and you can just assign an API call. And in the UI, you subscribe that by using async pipe. Okay, so let's do that. So we have to create an interface for this also. So what things are there? These are the things are there. Let's ask it to create interface, copy in your product model.ts. Here I'm creating interface. I category. Okay. I created interface. Now over here in my component, I have to create an observable. So dollar, whenever you create an observable at the prefix or the postfix, you add a dollar so that as a good programming practice, we follow it. Category list colon observable. What type of data? I category array you are going to store. New observable. Okay. So you created an observable. Now on the page load, you will simply assign the function call. So this dot dollar category list is equal to this dot product service dot get all category function. You are not subscribing over here, but there is a problem. This function return this type of data, and what we said it over here, array of it. So we have to use map over here. So your API call function is returning something else, or instead of writing it over here, instead of disturbing our code, here I will explain. So here I'm explaining one more important topic. If from your API call you are getting an object, but while returning it back, you have to return just an array. So we can use pipe and then map operator. Item colon result colon what type of data? API response. What is that? API response. So what we are going to return? Why map is not important or what? Here update. Why it is giving error? Result colon API response model. Why it's not coming? Round bracket, sorry. Okay. Now here what you are going to return. So here you get the whole response. Now in your component, what you are going to need? Actual array. So here you will return a result dot data. So now this function is not going to return this. It is going to return API call data of I category array. Getting it? So this API call, previous API call was returning whole response as it is, but this function is only returning the array. That's why we have changed it. Now in your component, it won't give you an error. See, because this function is also returning array of I category list and the container is also the same. We have to use async pipe. Okay. Then in your HTML, where are the categories? Yeah. So these are the categories we have. Now here, all we will keep it as it is for loop. Now here, dollar category list, it's an async pipe. So we have to use async pipe helps you to subscribe over here. You don't have to worry about the unsubscribe. And this will be iterated. Round bracket, item dot category name. We show it over here. Let's see it if we are able to make API call properly. Save all. Yeah, categories are coming. Let me show you. API call is also happening. Okay. Reload. So now on the page load, you get to see what two API call, get all product and get all category. Make sense? So this is how you use async pipe. Now what you can do on click of it, you have to make another API call so that we will be able to filter it out. How you can make it? So we have another API call for that. So get all product by category ID. So once you click on a particular category, you have to trigger an API call and that will filter it out the products. So on click of it, you need to pass the category ID and to this API call. Let's get the structure of it. So this is your API call function. Let's create it first into constant. Filter product by cat ID. Okay, something meaningful. I'm putting it over here. One we will remove, that one we will pass it from the service. Now here another function. Filter product by category. Whenever you call this function from your component, you will pass the category on selection of it. So that you have to catch it over here. ID colon number. Then what type of data you are going to return? This same type. Let me add it over here. Now here, get all category by this, then plus and whatever the ID you get. So your URL will be dynamic. Okay. Now on click of it, you want to trigger. We have to remove this href, otherwise it will point. Now here, click filter products. Okay. And here, while calling this function, you have to pass item ID, that is category ID. Let's create this function in your home component. Okay. Now here, this dot product service dot this function you will call, and this function, when you are calling this function from the HTML, you are passing category ID. So you have to catch it, cat ID colon number, and this cat ID you will pass it over here as a parameter. Dot subscribe round bracket curly bracket, sorry, round bracket curly bracket. Next, result API response model. Okay. So this much, these are the small things, but it will help you to clear your logic and the problem solving. So every time I say ki, if you are learning any technology, either it is Angular, React, or .NET, try to create multiple projects as much as you can. When you create multiple different projects, various scenarios are there, and that helps you to clear your concepts, helps you to build your logic, helps you to work on your problem solving skill. Right? Now, again, whatever the data you get, that you simply assign it to this also. This is your success callback, just like that error callback is also there, right? Error colon any. Okay, like this. Let's test it if everything is working fine or not. Let me open the network tab. So we get to see the API calls happening. Let's see if I click on fruits and vegetable. See, API call happen with category ID 3. Only two products are there with fruits and vegetable. If I click on beauty and hygiene, see, other two product category ID is 6. Let's say if I click on meat and fish, we don't have. Now we have a defect. If category IDs are not there, right, we should show ki no product available or something. So that also we can handle. So in the UI, so for at the rate, we have empty block is there. So if data is there, this for loop will trail. If it is not, we have to show something. So let me add no products found matching this category selected, some meaningful message I'm providing it. See now, like this. Okay. Again, we can create a proper UI for this. We can ask Claude to create a proper UI. Let's open the same chat we are following. If no products found, create a meaningful UI for this in this instead of simple p tag. So if you were not aware, so in at the rate for we have an empty block also. If data is there, this for loop will trail. If the data is empty, this empty block will iterate. Yeah, it has created. Let's see, like this. Again, we have to ask it to make it a center. So make it center align. Like by like thing. So as I said, this will keep on going. Whenever you need some UI changes, you ask it, it will do it. Okay. Let's wait. Oh my God. So many tokens just to make it center. Let's save it. Yeah. Got it. If I click on stationery, fruits and vegetable, see the product which we don't have. See, okay, this is happening. But there is an issue. If I have selected on fruits and vegetable, but still this option all is only selected. So wherever I click, that category should look selected. So for that, we have to add a dynamic class also. Let's do that. So here you can see this active class is there. So this active class we have to add when we click on it. Okay. Now we need to store the selection. What category ID is selected. So for that, I will create a signal or a normal variable will also will fine. So it will be selected category ID colon number. By default, I'm initializing with 0. So whatever the category we select, that we will store it over here. So this dot category is equal to cat ID. And this variable, we will use it to dynamically assign it. So here we can use property binding also, or ng class also we can use, or let me use ng class so that I can explain that also. So whenever you're working on a project, try to use as many as concept as you can. So that's how you learn it. Ng class we import. Then over here, this will be your static square bracket ng class variable equal to item dot category ID. If it is there, then this class, otherwise empty. So this active class will be over here. And when we have to add the active class over here, the condition will be if it is 0. So same thing, I will add it over here. But the condition will be we have to compare with 0. Initially, it will be all. So by doing this, see what happens now. So by default, it is all. If I click on fruits and vegetable, see, wherever you click, that is getting selected. Make sense? So this is a topic, that is how do we persist a selection. Logical topic is there. Okay. Now one more flow is there. If I click on all, what should happen? We should be able to see all, right? So on click of all, I just have to simply trigger the landing page API call. Sorry. Click. So here you will simply call this function so that it will show all the products. Let's test it. So on click of all, I get to see. See, application is running smooth now. Okay. I hope you are getting what we are trying. Again, not any advanced concept. I know ki UI I have created by AI, but I cannot create this UI. Consider if I start creating UI in the video, you will also feel lost. Trust me, you will feel lost. Okay. Fine. So whole Angular code, we are doing it over here one by one. So you also do the same thing. Once you understood it, those who are watching, don't do like what I'm doing. You are pausing it, then you are trying it. Complete one, complete one module, then stop the video, try to complete it. Once you are able to, let's say you stuck somewhere, then again you go and watch that section, how I have did it. Once you complete that, then watch the next part, then do the same thing. If you are pausing and doing it, that won't make sense. You won't learn. Okay, fine. One more thing to add, if you are new to my channel, do subscribe. In video description, you will be finding a link of my WhatsApp group. You can join that. I have started a batch. If you are not aware, I run my personal batches also where I explain the same thing, but in a live session, one-to-one session. So if you are interested to join live session, you can just join the group or connect with me on LinkedIn also, right? You can join my current ongoing batch for interview preparation also for full stack, Angular, React, whatever you call it, whatever the technology I know that I teach. So you can connect me for that. Okay. So product listing module is completed. Filtering is also done. Okay. Next module is add to cart. We will start. Before add to cart, login page we have to come. Okay. Let's complete the login page now. Fine. So we will complete the authentication now, because if user clicks on add to cart, first we need to check if user is logged in or not. If he is, then we will show the pop-up where he can select the quantity and we will do the add to cart process. Okay. Now the product and the filtering part is done, right? So authentication. So here you can see we have a login button. On click of login, we are navigating over here. But we need a form. If you check the API, we have a API. By that, we can log in. Let me open. Sorry, register. It will be at the bottom. Yeah, register as a customer. So with this API, you will be able to register yourself as a customer. Let me check. Okay. So in login, So this is the login component. Here we just have a login UI. So just like this, we need on click of sign up, login form should hide and the registered form should be visible, right? So let's do that quickly in login component. Let me open it. So this is the form for the login. I will copy and search. I will copy and paste it. And we have to toggle between this. So in registration form, what things are there? So customer ID is a primary key, which you don't have to save. Customer name. So here, your name. Let's copy, paste. Then you need mobile number. I think we don't have email ID. Your contact number. Then last one is your password. Okay. So this is your sign up form, register form. Okay. We don't have remember fee functionality. So I will remove that section. Here it will be login. Otherwise, continue Google also we don't need. This also we don't need. And remember me over here, save it. Now, if we check the UI, so here you can see we have two forms. Either this form should be visible or this form, right? So just like this, in the login form, we should have it, right? So instead of having this above outside, I will move it inside. So in the sign up form, we have a way to sign in. And here we will change the message. If already have an account, sign in. And in the login form, we will have if we will say don't have an account, sign up. See now what we need to do. So in the login form, you will have a sign up link. And in the sign up, you will have in the sign up form, you will have a sign up link. So you have to navigate, means not navigate, we just have to hide and show. So here it will be registered. Now we have two forms in the same component. So at a time, only one form should be visible. So how we will achieve that? By toggling. So here I will create a normal variable. We can go for a signal also, but value is not changing from a synchronous code. So we can go with a normal form. So is login form visible. Always make sure you provide a variable name descriptive, what type of data you are going to store, just like that. Then you need a function toggle form. What you need to do, you just need to toggle the value of this variable. So is this login form not same value? Okay. And this function, you will call it on both the places. On this paragraph also, click. Same thing on above paragraph also from the login form also. Right. Now, if this variable is true, we will use our if else. At the rate if this variable is true, we will render our login form. So this form will go inside our first if. Else, here we will go our second form. Like this. Let's format properly. Okay. Save it. Save it. Now you can see by default, we are able to see the registration form. If I click on sign in, wait, because of anchor tag, it navigated back to the login. So yeah, this href we will remove. We don't use href in Angular. Let's try now. So by default, your registration form is there. If I click on sign in, see, you are able to change the form. Understood? So toggle thing we achieved. Now, so two APIs integration we have to do. First, register customer, you will register as the customer. Then by using login API, we will be able to log in. Now, this is again another object. right? So previously also we have created model and all. So I'm skipping that because I will go with any now. Because if I start creating model and classes every time, video length get increased and it is very time taking process. So now in the login component, we have to make two API call. So first in constant, we will add our API call register, sorry, capital customer, then login. So we just need the URL of our APIs. So register your customer. Copy. So this will go over here. Then just like that for login, simple login URL. Capital small doesn't matter in case of API URL. Fine. So in constant, we have added two. Now in our service, we have to create a respective function. So now here you can create a user service. Let's open a new terminal. So you can put all your API call function into your single service also, but so for module wise, we should separate. So this will be user service. So in interview, they will ask you a question, ki, what is the use of service? So instead of component should be only focused on the, UI thing. It should not be worried about any API calls happening, any filtering, sorting, whatever utility function, all thing you can move it to the service or helper function. Once all the basic things are done, then I will implement all the advanced things. Ki why we should not have every function into service, why helper function is needed. We will see that. And if we have the time, we will try to implement the facade also. See why you should not keep component, your component should not directly communicate with the service. We should have in between facade. Okay. So we will do that also. Now in user service, again, you need to inject HTTP inject HTTP client on register. Again, we have already created a model. All our API response is this only, so we can provide the proper response times. Observable. Now type I API response. Okay. Then your return. This is going to be a post API. So this .http .post URL. URL we have already kept it into environment .api URL plus global constant .api endpoint register customer. It's a post API. This function you are going to call from the login component. So from there, you will pass the data. You will catch it over here. I'm going with any, you create your interface or class. Okay. I have already explained that. So that's why I'm not doing it one more time. This is the response you are sending it back like this. This is your register function, just like that. Your login function, almost same. On login here, login method name. Remaining things will be same because both APIs are post only. Now in your login component, you need to inject your service. User inject service over here. SRV. Now, so we have two forms. So we have to create a respective methods also, right? Now, we are first time dealing with the form. So one form in this component, I will be using template form. Then next component will be using reactive form. Again, we will use signal form. So within this, while completing the project, I'm able to explain all the topics also. Now, first we have to create an object for the register customer. So for registration customer, this is the object what we need to pass. So let's create an interface for it. So JSON to TS site, we have to put our JSON, send it in a small case. Let's copy it. Now in your model, so in the same, or you can create one more model also, user dot model dot ts. Put it over here. Instead of interface, we have to create a class because form object. So register model. Let's make it small case. All the properties start with the small case because from API you get it in a small case only. Now we have created a class. Class will have a constructor. So inside constructor, we can initialize all the properties. Customer ID is 0, primary key. Remaining are nothing but string value. So you will initialize with empty. Password is equal to empty. Fine. So your class is there. Now in your login component, you have to create an object. Register object. Data type will be register model, which you have just created. It's a class, so we can use new operator to initialize the object. So you don't have to worry about the initialization over here because you are invoking a class by using new. So constructor get initialized and this object will be properly initialized. Okay. Now you have your register object, template forms module you need to import. Then this object you need to bind to your login form. Sorry, registration. So here, square bracket, round bracket, ng, model. When you create variable and bind it with the proper class or interface, you get IntelliSense name. Since our ng model we are using inside a form tag, so name attribute also becomes mandatory. So whatever the property name you have it over here, same you will bind it over here. Let copy paste. Text. Name, then mobile number. Mobile number goes over here. And last one is password. Right? Now on click of submit, you have to make an API call. So click register on register. Let's create this function. If you're using Cloud, if your company have provided you the access of the Cloud AI tool, we can create a skill. And when you ask anything to do with the Cloud, whatever the skills you say, how do you write a code? How a developer write the code, you can create rule set of yours. And whenever it write the code, it will follow your skills. Whatever the skills you say, like if this is an event click on, so all your event click function should start with on. How I'm writing, Cloud will also write the same way how you want it. So skills are there in Cloud. So many people have, so many companies have assigning Cloud to their developer, right? Cloud, if you have used Copilot is very basic. Cloud is 100% different than what Copilot can do. So many things are there. There we have to create custom agent in Copilot to provide a skills or something like that. But there they have a very proper way. Okay, once you do the setup, Cloud code can actually write the code just as you want. You don't have to specify every time. Whenever it start writing the code, it will first read the skill, how you want it, then it will perform it. Okay. Now, so in this function, we have to make our API call. So this dot user service dot on register function, and you will pass register object over here dot subscribe round bracket curly bracket next result colon API response model. Okay, now let me complete quickly just like this. We will have our login function also on login. And just like register, we will have our login model also. Login object. Let's check the API response, what it is expecting. So in API, username and password, and username will be, I think, mobile number. By using mobile number, we can log in. Okay, let's create another class. So here I have explained you class. Let's try to create an interface. In case of interface, what happens? I wanted to show you. Copy, paste it over here. Login. This is an interface, so we will start with I. Model. Now, interface doesn't have an access to the constructor because it's an interface. Now, if you want to create an object of interface, so here you provide I login. Now you don't have new. So how do you initialize it? Like this. Everywhere you have to initialize the properties like this. In case of class, initialization is at one place. So many people get confused ki when to go for a class, when to go for interface. Both will do the same thing. But class, you have a constructor over there. Initialization, you don't have to do into the component. But in case of interface, in the component, you have to do the initialization. That is unnecessary. Have it in a single place. So that's why whenever you have a form, you go with the class. If you want some get API call data you are storing, something is there. You don't want initialization, go for an interface. Now this also we will quickly bind. Square bracket, round bracket, ng, model dot username. Let's bind the property name. Username will go over here. Let's copy, paste, password. Okay. And on click of login, here you can see in the registration form, I have used type button. So normally you have to write a click event. You can go with input type submit also. If input type submit is there, no need to write event on click event over here. On the form tag, you have an event on submit. Here it will trigger on login. So see, while completing a single project, I'm explaining so many things. So if you are following the same, you also have to try it because you don't know. Sometimes someone will ask you question, yeah, if input type button is there, how do you write? And if input type submit is there, what happens? So on the form also you have event. Okay. Object is already there. Now, once user is successfully logged in, registered, we will show alert. Yeah, user customer registration is success. But again, your API call return proper response. So if result property is true, then you will get to know, yeah, API call was success. Here you will show this. Else, if the result property is false, so from the API only you will get the error in message property like this. So in every API call, this check should be there over here also. Okay. Let's quickly try to register if register is happening properly. I'm sorry, in login, on login function, and here login object. Fine. Let's give it a test. First, we will try to register. Register. Let's say I will register my name, Chetan Zogi, mobile number 0099009900. Add a dummy mobile number because APIs are open. Everyone will be able to see your data, right? So don't put your original email ID or original mobile number. Okay, use a dummy one. 112233. This is the password I'm putting it on. Let's try to debug the code. So let's open our login component. Let's add debugger over here and over here also. On click of register, function got called. Use your mouse, go over here, see whatever the data you filled inside the form that you got it. Customer ID, we said it's 0, it is initialized. Continue. API call might be in progress. We got the response. And here you can see result true. Result properties true means API call was success. Okay. Registration success. Now we will try to log in. Go to the sign in. 0099. What was the credential? This is the username. Email ID. Sorry, I changed, forgot to mobile number and the password. 11223344. I'm passing the wrong password. My password is 122233, but I'm passing 444. Now on click of login. Let's try the login debug also. Here, login. See, you got the data. Continue. If you check result over here, see result property is false because I passed the wrong password. Getting it? I passed the wrong password. So it will go to the else and it will, whatever the message you get from the API, we are showing that. Let's pass the correct password. 112233. Login. Continue. Now, if you check, see result property is true. And in the data, you get the whole data, whole user data, user ID, customer ID and everything. You pass mobile number and the password, but in the response, if the credentials are correct, you get the whole user data. Now, this data, you need to store it onto your browser because you need the logged in user. Na? When you do the add to cart, which customer is doing add to cart? So you will need this customer ID. So whatever the data you get from the login API, you need to store it. So here, local storage. Now where you can store is local storage, session storage, cookies, or even service variable. But somewhere we need to store. According to the security of our application, we have to store it. This is an intro question where you will store the login data, you otherwise token. So in case of token, HTTP cookie is also another way. Service, right? Your normal browser cookie, session storage, what do we call it? Subject or behavior subject or even a service variable. So there are multiple ways based on the security and the project requirement. We use one of that. Say that currently I'm storing in the local storage. Local storage only allowed stored string data. Ecom user. This is the key name. And while storing the data, we need to convert it. So JSON dot stringify, it will convert object to the string. So res dot data. Okay. And once user is successfully logged in, we have to navigate him back to the home page. So now from .ts, you want to navigate. So for navigation from .ts, we have to create router service. We have to inject our router service, inject router. Then by using router service navigate method, we can navigate him. So after showing the alert, this dot router dot navigate by URL, you want to navigate to the home page. Slash home. Wait, let's check the route name is the same or not. Yeah, home only. Okay. And here customer found. Okay, or login success, whatever you call it. So once you, if you pass the correct credential, you will get the response that you are storing into the local storage. So here you will know the overall your application, wherever you need the logged in user data, here you have it. Then you are showing the alert and then you are navigating to the home page. Let's see it. Save all. Let's do it one more time. Sign in. This was my mobile number 112233. Let's log in. Add a debugger. So we result property is true. Login is success. In data, you got the whole object. Let me show you. Let me clear the local storage. Now, once this line runs, we will store the logged in data into our local storage. If you check it, see the logged in data is stored into your local storage. Then you are showing the pop-up. Then you are navigating to the home page. See, you navigated to the home page. Now here, if user is logged in, here we should show, yeah, username and the logout button. So when we created the UI, let's check if it has that section. Wait, it forgot to create that UI where we can show the log off and the user button. Let's ask Claude again. Where is the history? Yes. So in navbar, if user is logged in, we need to show logged username and log off button. Okay, I'm not that much good with the UI. So since the AI came, I'm the very happy person. Okay, because from the moment, from the first project, I'm only working with the Bootstrap. With Bootstrap, I can do. But if you ask me with the normal HTML and CSS, Flex and everything, I'm not good at that. Okay, some of you might be like that, but it's okay. Something, if you are strong in Angular, UI is okay. Now we have AI at our disposal, so that doesn't make sense now. Okay, again, don't write Angular code, right? So I was telling you about the skill. If you're like, you can see in every prompt, you have to add this. Don't write Angular code, don't write Angular code, just do the user. This rule also you can put it in your skill. So you don't have to repeat yourself again and again. Whenever you write, whenever you ask something to do, it will check your skill first. What rules, what instruction you have given. According to that only it will create. Okay, that's great. Now, if user is logged in, we have to show the logged in username and the logout button. If not, the login button. So if and else check. So in your app component, you need to read the logged in user data. So in app.ts, we have to read the logged in user data. Okay. Now, logged user data. Now, what is the data type? The register user. We have already created a class for that. So this will be the data type. Let's initialize it. Or by default, I will keep it as null. I don't know, null it will allow or not. Yeah, it should allow. By adding a not sign. Yeah, yes. Let me input. So by default, I'm not assigning any value. On the page load, so on the constructor, what I need to do, I need to read the local storage data. Then I will get the logged in user data. Let's check how it has added the. See, we ask it to not have the Angular code, but still it has written that because it was not able to handle if and else case. So that's why it has created. Just the HTML part it has rendered. Here you can see it didn't write the Angular.ps code, but in the HTML it needed the condition, so it has taken care of it. So our variable name is this, so we will use it over here. And then over here, dot. Wait, we given the data type, right? Why it is not suggesting? Let's read the local storage data. So constant logged user data local storage dot get item round bracket. What is our key name? Where you have stored the data? Ecom user. Now you should have a question. This is hard coding. In two pages, you are in two components, you are repeating this. So this also you have to derive it from the constant. So here I'm adding another constant. Log. Our key name will be login storage key. And here you keep your local, the local storage key, what you are using. So now you don't want to hard code it. Here also, it will come from constant. Getting the purpose of constant now? And here also, instead of hard coding this, constant local key. So you're not hard coding yourself. Everywhere everything, nothing is hard coded. Everything is derived from your constant. If you want to change, you want to change it over here only. You don't want to go to the component and you want to change it. If you change into the component, your test cases also has to change. It has to be tested properly. But if everything is coming from a single file, single source of truth, that is what our solid principle and every dry, so many good programming practices principles are there. So this is one of that. Now, whenever you read the data from the local storage, you have to add a null check. If data is there, then only. So if local data is not null, if data is not there, you will get null. So that is the check we will add. What you need to do? You need to assign the data to your logged in variable. But when you store the data, you convert it into the string. So now you need to convert it back to the object. So JSON.parse method is there. So this JSON.stringify parse is nothing but in JavaScript, we have a question, shallow copy and deep copy. So we use it over there to achieve the deep copy by converting to string, then converting back. Structure clone is also there. I know I'm explaining so many things, but it's okay. Considering this video is not for the fresher. If you know Angular, obviously you know JavaScript. That's why I'm explaining everything, whatever is coming. And in the HTML, why it's not suggesting? We binded this properly with the data type, but because of this undefined, it is happening like that, or I don't know. Logged user data name. Okay, it is not giving error. Name. And now log out. On click of logout, what you need to do, you just need to remove the local storage data. That's it. And this object again, you need to set it as undefined. So local storage dot remove item. See, now same key you are using. You don't have to repeat yourself. You don't have to hard code. Constant dot login key, and this variable you have to set it as undefined. Now here we have to provide other data type. Either it will be this or undefined. This is the TypeScript thing. For this variable, what are the possibilities? Either this variable contains the object of this, or it can be undefined. Let's check it now. So currently user is logged in. So here you can see we are getting it. Okay. If I click on logout, again, login button is there. And if I show you the local storage, see data is not there. Let's try to log in now. 112233. Now there is a problem. I will show you. On click of login happen. If you check on the local storage, data is also there. But why it is still there? And once I refresh, then my app component will render and you are able to see. But immediately when I log in, this was not happening. That's because login is happening from one component and this code reading the local storage data is in the app component only. That will execute only first time. After login, we have to inform app component ki read the local storage data again, right? So now here you will need your subject. Okay. So that something is happening from one component and based on that, you have to inform in another component. So login is happening from login component. Then once login happen, again, you have to inform app component ki read the local storage data again, right? So now user service I will use and there I will create an subject on login dollar. Whenever you create a subject, whenever you create a observable type of data, add dollar in the prefix, colon, subject. Now you don't want to pass any data, so we will go with void. If you want to pass a data, then provide respective data type. We cannot initialize the subject, right? Behavior subject we can initialize. That is also an intro question. Now, when you log in, you want to emit a value to this subject from the login component. Once you do the login, this dot user service dot on login subject dot next, you emit a value. We don't have to emit any value. Then same, you subscribe into your app component. So in app component, let's inject our user service. User service you inject. Then in the constructor, you will read this dot user service dot this dot subscribe. Okay. Now this code on the page load, you have to do it. Let's say user refresh. Obviously on the page load, you have to do it. And whenever user login, then also you need to do it. So instead of keeping it in the constructor, let's move it, read logged data. And this function you will call it on the page load also. And once login done there also in the subscribe also. So this is very real-time use case of your subject. Those who are giving interviews, market is bad. People are not able to get calls, but similarly, you might have seen, yeah, people are able to get the offers also. How they are doing it? You might be also doing the preparation. They are also doing the same thing. Questions are almost fixed. Then how people are getting offer and you are not? Even if so many people I communicate, because of YouTube, LinkedIn, post I share, so many people communicate. They ask me, I'm giving interviews, but I'm not able to clear it. I'm answering everything. So when someone is asking, I'm just giving a scenario. If someone is asking subject and viewer subject, you might be just informing the theory. Try to explain it in real-time scenario. Yeah, I have used subject like this. I have used behavior subject like this. Then other people, interviewer will understand you actually know the concept. Getting it? So wherever you are able to explain explain it with your coding or with scenario, do that. Okay. Let's log off now. Now, what problem we had? So currently user is not logged in. Okay. In the application, you can see we don't have any data. User is not logged in right now. Okay. Now, if I log in, one, one, two, two, three, three. What happened? Try to see. Okay. Currently login is coming because my app component is not going to render again. So on click of login, once user is logged in, we are emitting value into our subject. Once your subject value is emitting, immediately app component subscribe will trigger. See, and here you are reading the local storage data again. Continue. Now you see, you are able to see. Previously, it was not coming. On the refresh, it was coming. Now, if you refresh again on the page load, you have that code already, right? This will load onto the page load, reload, and this will do whenever you log in. So just for authentication, this is everything you have to do. Again, so many things we do in actual production life. Only 50% things I have covered. So many things you do. Again, those who already know guard and everything, implement that. But that is not the focus of the video. So I will skip the guard. Okay, without authenticate shared, some of the component we should not execute. Fine. So if you are following the videos, you are trying to implement the same, like the video. In video description, we'll be finding a link of my WhatsApp group. Join that to get the notification of the videos I share. Sometimes I'm taking the live session also. Okay. Now, product we are able to show. Customer is able to log in and register. Now we can move on to the add to cart process. User will do the add to cart, then he will be finally placing the order. That's the whole flow of our e-commerce application. Okay. Okay. So now we have to do the add to cart process because user login is done. User is able to log in. Now we have to do the add to cart. So once user, let's say this dragon fruit user want to add. So once user clicks on add to cart, when we talk about add to cart, this is the product what you want to purchase, but you have to specify how much quantity, right? So for that, if you check the API for add to cart, what data you need to pass. So cart ID is your primary key, customer ID, the logged in customer ID, which user, which customer is adding to cart, right? So the logged in customer ID we need, product ID, which product you are able to add to cart. This product ID you need, and the quantity, how much quantity. Got it? So once you click on add to cart, we need to open a small pop-up and there we will enter the quantity. And then on click of add to cart, then finally our API call has to happen. So on click of add to cart, we need to open a pop-up. Okay. So in our home page, we have our add to cart button, right? So let's ask Claude to simply create a small pop-up. We'll use the same chat, what we have been using. On add to cart, we need to open a small model pop-up where user will enter quantity and then finally add to cart will happen. Again, because I didn't create the skills and all, so we need to specify everything. Okay? Don't write Angular code, just design model pop-up. Fine. Till that time it will happen. We will complete our code. So where it is. Yeah, so this add button is nothing but our add to cart. So on click of it, we have to, let's see how it opens the model pop-up. Until that time, we will write our API call and all. Okay. So now in service, we have product service. So now add to cart service, I'm putting it over here. In constant, we need to add our method name for the add to cart. So add capital add to cart, whatever your URL. So our URL is add to cart, copy, paste it over here. I'm trying to cover as much as possible, how we take care of these things in real-time production application. But in real time, again, so many things happen. Obviously, that I cannot complete in a one project. Otherwise, project will be very long if I start doing everything like creating model interface. I have already explained how do we create model interface, right? So you have the time, you can do that. Okay. Now, so add to cart is there. Now in our home product service, we will add one more function. Add to cart. Now, it will be a post API. So return whatever the data, cart object you will pass from over here, object colon any. I'm not creating interface over here. Return this dot HTTP dot post. You need URL, again environment. dot API URL plus your constant dot API endpoint dot add to cart. Then it's a post API. We need to pass the object also. So whatever the parameter you get that. Again, you know all API are going to return this. So let's provide it over here also. What it is doing? We just simply added to add a model pop-up. Still it is running. Not sure. Let me check if any changes it has done. No, I don't know. It is building it. Once the build is successful, then it might put up the code. Fine. So in our service, we have our API call function ready, which is going to make API call for add to cart. Why it is giving error? Sorry, round bracket. Yeah, extra round bracket was there. Okay. Now, in your home component, you need an object. On click of add to cart, your model pop-up will open and there you will have final add to cart button. So there you will make an API call. So you need the object. So this is the object what you need to pass along with your API. So let's create it. Cart object colon any. I'm going with any, but you can create class or interface. Okay. Make sure you do. Okay. Now here customer ID and empty 0. Empty initializing with 0. Added date when you are adding it. So new date, current date, whenever you are adding it. So that will go. Let's start with cap small case. Okay. Format selection with JavaScript. This is done or no? Let's try to see. But where it has added that? Let's try to save all and let's check. Might be in the app component, it might have added. Yeah, it has added. But where this is? Yes, in add to cart. In parent component, it has added. So let me remove this and we will put it over here because I'm going to need that access over here. So in home component only, I'm putting that model pop-up. Let's save and check if it is opening again or not properly. Yeah, opening. Okay. Now here you can see once you click on the add to cart, which product you are add to cart, which product you are adding. That also you need to show what is the price. And here you will do that increment operator. And finally on add to cart, you will make your API call. Okay. So now, wait, let me check angular.json one more time. Okay. So now you can see I think it has added by Claude. So because we are using Bootstrap, this I think I have added, but this I think Claude has added. So whenever you are having model pop-up, in JavaScript, bootstrap.js, you have a by default functionality. If you provide proper ID and all, it will open. So here you can see, let me show you home component. Let's close this. So here you can see we have add button. Now here you can see this property is there, data toggle model and the target model. So this model, this is the ID of that model. See over here. So on click of that, this model is by default opening. Okay. Now model is by default opening, but we need to capture the product data also. Which product you are adding, right? So we will create a function, click at on add to cart. Okay. So we will create this function. Now, when you call this, you are iterating on the product. See, now whole object you will pass, or you just need product ID. No, you will need whole because you need to show the product detail, right? Which product you have selected. So I'm creating one more object, selected product data. I'm going with any, okay, but you can create class or interface. Oh, we already have it. So let's go with like this, add a not null. Now, whatever the data, which product you are clicking on add to cart, that whole data, you will store it over here. This dot product data is equal to data colon. We knew the data type. So let's add it. I product. And this you will hold it over here. So whatever the data, which product you are adding to cart, which product you are adding to cart, that data you are storing it over here. This data, you will use it to display in your add to cart model. Here you have to show the product name. Then I don't know what is this, but let's show SKU. And here price we need to show. Okay. And image also. Where is the image? It forgot to add the image attribute again. Just like last time. Let's copy it from over here. Over here. How it has handled over here. Let me copy the whole. So remove this, save. Something is wrong. Save all. Let's check console what is wrong. Something might be breaking. Now here you can see it is breaking on the product image URL. So cannot read properties of undefined while reading line number. Why it is not showing line number? Home template, line number 95. Let's check what is on that line number 95. This. So by default, this is undefined. So if you're trying to read something from undefined, obviously it will break, right? So we have to add a question mark. This is called as a null check everywhere, wherever you are accessing, because by default it is null. Na? When you open it, then only you get to see. Now see, it is opening properly. Now let's say this is dragon fruit I'm adding. On click of add to cart. See, whatever the product you are opening, that is getting rendered over here. Getting it? Okay. Because we created a variable, and once you click on add to cart, you are storing that data. Now on click of add to cart. Wait, what is the subtotal? Now here we might need to do the calculation. So this is the price. If I multiply this with 2, that is the total price, right? So how we are handling it, that plus and minus like this. Okay. So this is type number. So now the UI is like that. On click of plus and minus, we need to change the quantity. Where is the object? So this is the object. This object, I will bind it over here. Square bracket, round bracket, ng model is equal to dot quantity, because we have gone with any, so it's not suggesting the field. Forms model we need to import. One more thing I will explain. You should get a question because standalone component. So let's say these things are almost getting repeated. So we can create an array of 8, put it into constant, and here you can use that array. So you don't have to import again and again. We can do that also. Let's first complete this. Now, so that object has a property that we have binded over here. Now on click of plus, we need to increment it. So this is plus, click. What you need to do, you just need to simply increment it. So this I will use it over here is equal to this plus plus, or directly plus plus will also work. Let's try. It should work. Unexpected end dot expression equal to this plus 1. This will work. And on minus, we just need to reduce it by 1. Here, minus. Let's see and check if it is happening or not. On click of add to cart, by default it is 0. See? Now, here you need to show the actual price, 49 into whatever the quantity, right? So that is just simple multiplication. So this in interpolation, this into your product data dot price. So this will go over there. Let's see. On click of add to cart. See, getting it? Quantity is getting automatically created. This we don't have to pass, but here is to user customer should see, yeah, what is the total quantity. Now on click of add to cart, finally we have to make our API call. So on this, click save cart data. So let's create this function. From here, you will trigger your API call function. Now, so quantity you are already getting from the UI, plus minus we are doing. Cart ID is the primary, customer ID we need. So how you get the customer ID from the logged in data? So again, how you read the logged in data that we have already done it in your app component. So let's copy that. I can, instead of repeating this code, we can move it. But for now, I will keep it over here like that. So that once you see, yeah, this code is getting repeated multiple times, then you will understand, yeah, why do we need to repeat or move the code to a different function. Let's import it. So here, instead of putting it in this function, I will keep it. So not here, in save it to cart. So this is the function from where we are going to trigger an API call. So here, quantity we already have coming from the UI. Product ID also we already have over here in this variable. Now we just need the logged in user ID. So here, this dot cart object data dot your cust ID that you will get it from your local storage dot. What is the field name? Let's quickly check it in the local storage. So we are preparing an object that API need cust ID. Okay. So this property, we put it over here. So in your cart object, customer ID is there. Then you need this dot cart object dot product ID. Product ID you can extract it from your selected product data. Here you are storing it. So this dot product ID. So you got quantity from coming from the UI, customer ID, you got product ID, you got quantity is also there. Now you can finally make your API call. So this dot product service dot add to cart. And what you need to pass? This whole object. Dot subscribe, round bracket, curly bracket, next. Result colon API response. If result is true, means if API call is success, we will show yes, add to cart happened. Res dot result is true. Alert add to cart or product has been successfully added. Added to cart. Okay. And then we need to close the pop-up, right? Let it be for now. So let me format this function. Let's add a debugger so that I can show you properly. Because here you don't have the normal forms from so much places you are getting the data and finally your object is getting created. File save all. Now let's give it a try. So I'm logged in with this particular customer. Let's say I want to order a dragon fruit. On click of add. How many quantities I need? 2 quantities. 98 rupees. On click of add, let's enable the debugger. Now here you can see, if you check the cart object, quantity is there. Cart ID is your primary key. Added date is also we have done. Now you need customer ID and the product ID. So customer ID you are getting from the logged in data. See, you got customer ID and product ID you are getting from the product data. Now see, your cart object is working. Means whatever you need, that API need, you have that data. Continue. Product added to the cart. Result property is true means product got added. Okay. Now customer ID is 1. Let's test it over here. Get product details. Where is that to cart API? Get cart product by customer ID. I think here it will pass customer ID. What is the customer ID? 1. So if I pass 1, yeah, see, we added dragon fruit with quantity 2. So that data is coming in your API. So this API called data, you need to show over here in your cart. Here you need to show whatever the product user has added, that you need to show it over here. Fine. So another API call. Where is our product service? Let's create our API call method name. Get all get cart items by customer. This is the method name. Sorry. Let's copy the method name. This is the method name where ID will be dynamic. Okay. Now in your service, you will create one more get API call. Let me copy, paste, get cards by cust ID. And here get card item at cust ID, and whatever the ID you pass, that you will simply return. So your service API call function is ready. Now, whenever you do add to cart, now add to cart is happening from your home component, and your this cart model is in your app component. So whenever you do add to cart, this has to refresh. So again, you will need a subject, just like we have done it into the login page also. Now in app component, we have injected our user service, right? And in home component, do we have user service? No. Okay. So here we will inject our user service also. So all your subject will be in a single place. Inject user service. Now in user service, I will create one more subject, which will understand that whenever you add the product, you will emit that subject. Let me copy paste on add to cart. Okay. Now from your home component, whenever you do that to cart, you have to emit the value to that subject so that it will trigger the get API call. So this dot user service dot on add to cart dot next. You don't want to pass any data because we said void. Now in your home component, now the subscribe of your this also will be there. Just like this, one more subscribe will be there for add to cart. And whenever you add to cart, now you need to make an API call. You need to inject your product service also because add to cart service is there in the product service, prod service, get cart data, this dot. Wait, why we are getting error? Sorry. Product service dot get card by customer ID, and here you need to pass the logged in user ID. Now in this component, by reading the logged in data, we have already put it over here so that you will pass user logged user data dot user ID customer ID dot subscribe round bracket curly bracket. We don't add it over here. Object is possibly undefined, so let's add a null check. If this is not undefined, if this is there, then only you need to make, because initially we assign it as an undefined. That's why this check has to be there now. Okay. Now this function you will call whenever your add to cart happen. Whenever you do add to cart from the home component, immediately your subscribe will execute and you will make the API call. You need to store the data also. Now let's check what data you are getting. So this is the data you are getting from add to cart. Let's create an interface quickly. So this is your cart data. Let's put it into your model. Cart list data. Okay. Now we have to create a signal where you will store the data. App component cart list signal, and you will initialize with empty array. Let's add the import. Now here this dot cart list. Sorry. Subscribe round bracket curly bracket next API response model, and here this dot cart list dot set res dot data. Okay. And on the page load also you need to call it. Whenever you're doing add to cart, that is perfectly fine. But on the page load also you need, no? So on the page load also you will call. Let's say user came, whatever added cat word were there, we need to show it. And this we need to iterate onto the HTML. So here we have this side panel where we are showing all the add to cart item. Let's see the div which we have to iterate. I think this is the div. Yes, this is the div that we have to iterate. So at the rate for loop. I'm not sure if you are able to follow or not, but we have not skipped any coding part. Yeah, I agree that HTML I have created with the help of AI. But again, consider, can I really create this much of UI by writing the code now? If we have the AI, this video, I don't know, might be it is yet to complete, but at least 3 hours video will be there. If I start designing this now, it will be 10 hours video. Will you watch my 10 hours video? Obviously not, right? So we have AI, make use of AI. Okay. Functionality coding part is what we want to learn. We are not here to design the UI. Okay, here also same thing. We need to ask it to create a proper image. Here I need image tag, so I can pass URL. Sorry, let me switch this. Image tag. Don't write Angular code. Okay. Till that it completes. Let's do the remaining binding. Here we have to show the product name, what product you have added. So item dot product name. Where is the price? Here is the price. Price will be into, let's see how we are showing price. I might have to show the price. This is the price. Wait, what is this and what is this then? Something is wrong. Here also we have product, and here also. Why we have two? Only this we need. No, we don't need this. Let's remove this. This is totally not needed. Why it is taking so much of time? Where it has given the code? Let's copy it from the home, because in home also we had almost similar structure. Copy. Paste. Item dot product image. Item dot price. Let's see it for now. Let's try it now. So here you can see it is coming, but we need to handle the image width. Previous was coming fine. Fix it. We need small image like previous. Hold on. I copied. Okay, and we need to show price, then total price. Let's wait. So earlier was correct, but we copied that UI is not coming proper. So we are asking it to make the UI proper. I don't know why it is slow or something. So much of time it is taking. Let's wait for some time. So with this, our almost flow is completed. Customer is able to log in. Products are coming. Products you are able to filter also. Customer able to register, log in. He is able to add to cart. Whatever the item he has add to cart, we are able to show it also. Now finally process will be at placing an order. That's it. So your whole e-commerce application flow completes over here. See why when we talk about product based or small scale companies or even mid scale, sometimes they are asking you to complete small application like this. They will provide you API and all. They want you, they want to check. Yes, they want you to check that how good you are with the domain. Just completing API call integration, everyone by now will be able to do it. But how you can establish a relation between different APIs, what data you will put it over there and all, right? So like that, they will ask. So when you work on projects like this small, you help yourself to build your logic also and problem solving also. Okay. Just design UI. Okay. Yeah, we got it. Let's stop it. We already got the output. Now here you can see, we are able to see whatever the product you have added. Now let me add a debugger everywhere. So when you do the add to cart, subject and behavior subject, we have it over here in home component also. Here we will add it. So we can check the whole flow now. So now let's open it. Now let's say I want to order banana also. On click of add to cart, our model pop-up should open. Let's say I want to add 3 banana. Okay. Now on click of add to cart, API call will happen. Once response is there, it is breaking over here. We got the add to cart happen successfully. Result is property true. You are showing the model pop-up. Then you are triggering your subject, and that subject you are listening to your app component. It will go over here, and here you are making an API call. So get add to cart data. It will go over here. It is ready. It is checking if the logged in data is there or not. Yes, it is. Customer ID is there. Then continue. Now here you can see in result.data, you got 2 products. You are changing it. Now if you open the add to cart, see 2 products. Got it? Here we need to update. We need to show the actual count. It might be static. So let's change it. Because item you're adding from somewhere and that is getting displayed somewhere. Where was it? Sorry, in app component. Where is the total? Yeah, here we need to show the cart list dot length. Sorry, in interpolation. Okay, and somewhere else, wherever we had that add to cart, there also we need to show the same thing. So let me copy in now bar where it was here. Okay, save it. Now see 2 and 2 everywhere you are able to see it properly. Fine. So this is your add to cart process. Now, finally, okay, again, you have delete also. For that also, you have an API call. You just simply pass the cart ID, which you are getting, and you will be able to delete it also. Where it is. Oh, delete ID is not there. I think I forgot to add the delete API. Add to cart. Yeah, here it is. I should have kept it as a delete, but it is a get API. So simply make an URL and pass the cart ID over here. It needs the cart ID. So on click of delete, you just have to trigger an API call. I'm not doing it right now, but in the repository, I will do it. I will complete it with the help of AI. Now, finally, the order process will be there. On click of order, you just need to hit the API. That is place order, this. And here you can see, just you need the address and everything. Card data, you already have it. You don't need to pass the card data because in DB already we have it. And once you place the order, this will get removed from your cart. Cart will be clean. That's the last flow we will complete. Fine. So all the basic functionality has been completed. We are able to load all the product. We are able to filter. Customer is able to register himself. He is able to log in. He is able to add to cart also. Now he should be able to place the order. So if we check the API for order placing, at the end, place order. So here you see what payload it needs. You don't have to pass the data, add to cart data, ki how many products you have, because backend already has it. So you want to pass customer ID, the logged in ID, sell date, what is the total invoice amount, discount, payment narration, address detail. Okay, only these many things we have to ask. So in the checkout page, once we click on, let's say over here, once we go to the checkout, here details are already there, but this UI was AI generated. So we want to ask it, these are the things we have. Let's open Claude, the same chat for checkout page. This is the payload as it's a POC. No need of actual payment. Design UI for these fields. And in the checkout page, here we have to show the existing products also, that we will get it from add to cart detail. Just shipping address form, we won't ask it to change. Or we will say keep order summary as it is. No, that it will do. Don't write any Angular code. I will take care of it. Fine. Now, so till that time it will complete the code, we can complete our API call and everything. Let me close all. Now, coming back to our service. So in your service, now in the product service only, I'm going to put it. Wait, why it is coming over here? Okay. Now in product service, we have to add our API call. So place order. Here we will get the object from your component. Object colon any. I'm not creating interface, but you can. Okay. So return this dot http dot post API call, your environment dot API URL plus your method name. So method name as we are doing it, right? So we have to put it into our constant. So let's go to our constant. Place order. Okay. Now here, constant dot API method dot place order, and whatever the object you get, that you will pass it along. So here like this. Okay. So on click of place order, that we will call it from our checkout page here. Let's see if the work is done. Yeah. Let's see it, the UI. Yeah. So as per our payload, we got the UI. Now in this checkout page, first thing we need to do, whatever the add to cart item we have added, that we need to load and render it over here. So we already created that API call. So in product service, we already have this API call. So this API call, we need to make it inside this page also. Now here, I will make use of the async pipe. Okay. Instead of, writing normal subscribe, then we have to unsubscribe all that thing. So instead of, we use async pipe. In Angular interview, you have a question. Ki how do you clean up the memory? So whenever you subscribe, you have to clean up that memory. So you will go for a take until destroy, take, or you create a subscription list, then in enjoy and destroy, you clear it. That's how you clear up the memory leak. Or else you can make use of the async pipe also. Okay. Now here, cart data. Did we create any interface for the cart data? Let's check it over here. Yeah, we created it. Let's provide it over here. But this is not going to be signal. Here we are going to be store observable. colon observable of type this. Let's add the import cart list dollar new observable iCart list. Okay, so we created an observable. Now in constructor, we just have to assign the API call to this. We are not going to subscribe. So first we need to inject our HTTP product service. So product SRV is equal to inject product service. Then here we need to provide the API call response. Cart list is equal to this dot product list dot get card by customer ID. Now here you need to pass customer ID, right? Now in every component, so many pages are there where we need the customer ID. So how we are reading it? Let me show you. So we have this function. Let me open this function. So this function is like reading the local storage data, converting it, and then then returning it back the user. So instead of creating this logic everywhere, we can put it into our user service. So what I will do, I will put this function into my user service, and on the page load, we will simply return it. Or this function, we will call it this dot over here. Now this variable, I will create it over here. So in service, you will have the logged in data already available. You don't have to make API. You don't have to read this logic in every component. What was the data type? Let me check the data type for this register model or undefined. Let's copy it. So instead of reading the data in everywhere, you are keeping the logged in data into a variable in your service. So on the page load, you are reading it. Okay. And the same thing, whenever you log in, again, you need to do it because on the page load only your service will execute for the first time. Once you log in, again, you need to refresh the data. So here, once you log in, this dot user service dot read logged in data. This function you will again call so that once you log in again, you are setting the data. Now, overall application, wherever you need the logged in data, in this variable, you have it. Okay. Now in your checkout page, we have to inject your user service also. User service here, this dot user service dot logged user data dot customer ID. We might have to add a null check if because undefined is there now for this logged user. So if it is there, then only we need to assign the data to this. Okay. Now, one more problem is there. This function is returning data type of API response model, right? So here, because your API call is returning, result data and that. So instead of doing that, we have to use map operator. So here you can use pipe because we just need an array. So map round bracket result colon I API response. And from that, what you just need? Oops, response dot data. Now you can see from your this function, you are getting everything, but whatever you got it, you want to modify it. What you need? Just the data. So now you can see error is not there. Now we have to use async pipe. So all this thing I'm doing, if instead of using subscribe and all that, directly in the HTML, we want to subscribe to this. So in the HTML, delivery address, payment mode, order summary. This is the @ for loop. Here you will use a async pipe. And this whole div we have to iterate. Here we are going to show all our products. Again, we have that image is not coming. That image box we might need. So in this, let's add the same thing. In this also, I need image tag. Okay. Let it take care of it. Because we need to show the image also. Whenever we talk about e-commerce, everywhere, wherever you are showing product, you have to show the image also. Okay. Now here, property binding, item dot product image URL, then your item name, item dot product name. Here we might have to show the quantity also, right? Ki how many? Okay, here we have it. Item dot quantity. Wait, how come quantity is not there? Why it is not showing? Item dot. Here it was showing all the properties. Where is quantity? Quantity only. But here what happened? Quantity. Okay. And here we have to show the sum, sorry, multiplication. So item dot quantity into item dot rate product price. Let's save it. Now you can see whatever you have it over here, same thing is coming over here also. Let's go to home page and add one more. Let's say this pure ghee, add three quantities I need. Add to cart, product added to the cart. Same you can see at the top also. And if you go to the checkout page, here also same. Okay, data is coming. Here we have to show all the list of the quantity. How we will show it now? Because let's try it. Because we are using async pipe, right? And here subtotal is there. For loop is over here. We cannot use a global variable also because we don't have a context. So for now, I will do a quick fix, which is not really suggested, but there is no way. So just to end it quick. So here I'm going to create a variable, which I will call it as a total amount colon data type number is equal to 0. Now what I will do, I will call a function. I will create a function get total. And here you will pass the item data, that is cart, iCart item. Okay. And this function, you will call it in the UI directly. Okay. Directly, I'm calling it. This is not recommended, but I had to explain this async pipe, so I have gone like this. But we should not use this, or let's not do that. We will use tap operator. So I can use the tap also. Now, here we are not subscribing, but here we are modifying the response. So we need to listen to the original data also. So dot tap, wait. We have this map operator. Comma tap operator. Tap operator allows you to listen to the original data. Okay. Response command API response model. And here we will do, wait, why it is giving error now? Tap operator. Sorry, tap operator should be first, then your map operator. Before modifying, you should use the tap operator. Now here what you need to do, you have to iterate on the data and you need to calculate the total amount. So for each, so res dot data. Okay, here element, let's add the proper data type. It will be iCart list, single instance of this. Now here you want to do the sum, and sum you want to put it over here. This dot total amount is equal to this dot total amount plus, then round bracket. What you need to do? Element dot quantity into element dot price. So you will get actual one price, then you are putting it over here, and this you will put it over here. You can debug this code. I'm not debugging right now because I have to complete it quickly. Let's save it and let's check it. We should be able to see the total. 100, 162, 98. So you can see we got the total. Okay. Discount, we don't have a functionality, but as UI, we got it. Okay. So in the checkout page, we are able to show it. Now it's a simple API call. Object is there that you need to bind. And on click of page, this API call you need to do. But before that, customer ID, you need to read it from your local storage, right? Now, so here, let's copy this object. Now I will be taking the help of AI to complete it because already I have explained the same thing. Let's open it over here. Now here we will say in checkout page, bind, use reactive form to bind form and write API call function for place order. Okay. Let's do that. Once it is done, then last thing will be remaining. Whatever the orders I have added, that I should be able to see it. Then this is the website part, customer point only. Then in e-commerce application, we will have admin application also. There, the creator of this product will get to see how many orders they have received, and then shipping process will start. So as I said now, e-commerce application is very big. So you have to limit your application. If you are learning, you cannot implement the whole thing unless you have the time. Ideally, you should implement. You should be able to add the product. You should be able to do the website and everything. Those who are full stack people, try to complete one application like that where you have admin panel, you have a website, data is coming and flowing, right? You get to understand the whole business flow. Right. Those who are a full stack developer, or if you are learning full stack developer, this is a very rare. That's why every companies are so focused on the e-commerce when it comes to the machine test, because you get to understand everything, right? Now, what it is doing, it has created interface. It is returning the proper return type also. It has imported in the service. It might have done a mistake, but let's see. Let's give it some time. So here you can see checkout form it has created, validation also basic added, form builder service it has created. Now it is doing the HTML part. Let's see the service first till that time. So placeholder service is in place. Let's see on placeholder. It has created an object customer ID. You can see it has read from the service variable. Then it is making an API call. Once we get it, see the same look and feel, and it is redirecting to my order. We didn't say it, but after obviously once you place the order, you should go to your my order page and you should be able to see everything. Then in the HTML, let's see properly. So form group it has added on every element. Form control name also added. Okay, let's see it. And we had that component, right? My order page. Yeah, let's give it API call for showing all my order. Get all sale by customer ID. This is the my order page. Let's provide it. So it might do the remaining thing. Okay, let's try to place the order. Then we will get to see the data. Reload. Now let's say I want to deliver it. In this order, I have 3 products added. Let's say plot number 98. Poonam Society. City, Pune, 112233. Landmark near SBI ATM. Some payment narration, cash on delivery. Okay. Now let's check if API call is happening fine. Network. Let's click on place order. Order placed successfully. Now if I check the API again, see, now you got the data. Okay. So this is the API what we want to make in the my order page. Let's provide it. This API will get my orders. We need to pass logged user ID. So in my order, in my order component, we have to inject your user service. That's how you get the logged in. This API call will be simple get API call. You get the data, you show it into the list. Okay. And my order component, let me add. Do we have UI? Yeah, UI is also already in place. My order, right? So here we just need to, you can see the UI is already there. We just need to make it dynamic. Okay. And on click of view detail, okay, products also we are showing, but from API call, we are not getting product. So what we can do, by default, we will hide it. If I click on view detail, then we have to make another API call to show the product detail, open sale by sale ID. What was the sale ID? What we had? Sale ID was one only. So if you pass the one ID, then you get everything. Okay. See, 3 products we added. Let's pass it this also. On click of open, we have to show the response also. Key from this API, what you are getting, from the other API, what you are getting, then only it will be able to do it, right? So this is the response from this. This is response. So on click of open, we need to get products from that sale by using other API. So on click of open order, you will call another API, get sale by open ID. So this, and it will return all the products from that order. You get it like this. Okay. This response we get. Do these changes. Okay. Let's see parallelly what it does. So first it will add it into the constant. Let's try to see it. Then it will create a service, add the remaining functions. Then API call in your my order on the page load API call will happen to get all the order. Then on click of it, another API call where you have to pass the sale ID. Then it will open the what number of products you have. Fine. Let's give it some time. So here you can see in our constant file, it has added this. 2 things it has added. Get sale by customer ID and get open sale by ID. Then it will go, it has created interface. Then in service, see 2 function it has created, one with customer ID, one with the parameter sale ID. Then in component, it is writing my order. See, product service and user service is then injected because logged in user data we need. Observable it has created for orders. Then sale item on the page load, we are calling it. Yes, almost things are done. It might be wrapping up HTML. For loop is there on the order. Okay. Let's see it. Let's check it. So currently, this particular customer has only one product. See, only one order is there. Okay. And here you can see the order details also you will be able to see. Loading item, get sale. Why it is taking so much of time? 200 is there. Data is there, but I think it has gone for a normal variable now. So that's why, because Angular application, our application is a signal base. So here it has gone for a normal variable. So instead of this, we have to say it is going to be signal. This type of array we are going to put it. Empty array. And this toggle order. Wait, why it has created a mapper? It has created a mapper. Let's ask it to take care of it. Sale item is a mapper, but our app is zoneless. So even after API call success, data is not visible in UI. So it will change the logic now. So that's why those skills and everything I told you earlier, that comes handy. Yeah, I use signals a lot. So every time it will read your skills, that only it will write the code. Let's give it some time. It will change this mapper to normal signal and it will change this code also. Let's give it some time. Okay, that's exactly homeless application signal. Now it will do one by one thing. So see, now it has gone for a signal. It will change this. Okay, in HTML also it will change because it's not a normal variable, it's a signal. Let's give it some time. Okay, now it will build it. Okay, we can test it now. So on the page load, we got order. If I click on view detail, another API call is there and you can see, you get to see what details are there. Okay, now let's try to go to the home and we will add another product. Let's say I want nachos. Let's say only one. And then I need Paz Kachori. This will be, let's say, 3 quantities. So I have 2 products added now. Let's go over here, check out. Let's add some dummy data. Okay, place order, order placed. And now here you can see we got 2 orders. This is first, the recent one, and this is the other one. Got it? So complete application. Products are coming. You are able to filter it also. You are able to sign up, log in, add to cart, place order, and you are able to see all the order placed. So complete e-commerce application is ready. Got it? So those who are learning right now, this is a nice project what you can try. But don't watch it parallelly and do it parallelly. Watch it, one module, try to complete it. If you face any error, again watch it. But don't do the parallel coding. That won't help you. Okay? So I hope so this video was helpful to you. It took a lot of time for me also to complete, right? I do it in multiple parts. This I have done it in a 3 duration. In 3 days, I have completed by sitting one hours. But you can take 1 week, but complete it. Okay. This will help you to boost your confidence. If you are giving intros, this will clearly help you to boost your confidence. Okay. Again, if you are new, please do subscribe, add the comments if you like the video. In video description, we'll be finding a link of my WhatsApp group. Join that to connect with me. I'm doing so many live session. I'm taking mock interviews also. If you have any career related advice, you can connect with me for that. Fine. Again, members only videos are also there. You can subscribe. I think 300 something is there. You can subscribe that. Some content I'm putting it for the members only video also. Right. That's it. Thank you. Thanks for watching.